Yeah, I'm gonna stop you right there, Kevin. What were you just doing in the bathroom?
I just had to take a leak.
Well, you make sure you keep your hands where I can see them, okay? Now, I came here to ask you if you knew what time it was.
Pat, why are you asking me? You have a phone and there's a clock down the hall.
What time is it, Kevin? Adventure time. It's 11 o'clock and it's time to close. And yet here I am, still looking at you.
Pat, first off, what you're not gonna do is talk to me like that. And secondly, there's trash that I have outside on the floor that I still need to toss out.
Kevin, I have asked this because you're currently going into overtime, and we can't have that here in this store.
Alright, Pat, do you want me to just leave the trash there? Because I don't want to get called into the office tomorrow, but
let me slow this down so you can understand. You're going into overtime.
Pat, you're not answering my question. All I'm asking is if you want me to take the trash or leave it where it's at. Yes or no?
Well, then I'm going to say this. You have 20 minutes to get that done.
What'd you say?
Now, you heard me loud and clear, and I have an issue when I have to repeat myself. Now, go do as you're told. Comprende?
Know what I'm doing.
Jasmine, listen, you only fail when you stop or you don't even try. That's...
Attention, Hall-mart associates. Kevin, you're needed into the office. Once again, Kevin, you're needed to the office. Jasmine, I'm gonna have to call you back. Yeah, I just got called to the manager's office.
Oh, man.
Miss Cloud, you wanted to see me?
I did. Have a seat. So, Kevin, I have some photos that were taken from last night. There was trash left out on the carts and on the floor in your area. And now you've been here for some time to know that every closer must have a clean area for the next shift when they come in. And if not, it messes up the workflow. And I want you to tell me why you left all your trash where they were at. Well, Patrick told me that I needed to leave because I was going into overtime. So I asked him, should I leave my trash where it's at or dump it? Because I wanted to avoid the conversation that we're having right now. Mr. Cloud, I just want to say that is far from the answer that Kevin gave. Now, what happened was that night I was doing zone checks to make sure that there was no customers around in the store. That is not true. You're calling me a liar? Yes. Hold on. First off, Kevin, you're going to watch your tone when you're inside of my office. And secondly, you're not going to sit here and disrespect your superior. Now, what you're going to do, buddy, I don't want to hear it. What you're going to do is apologize to your manager, and you're going to leave out of this office, and you're going to clean up your mess that you left from last night. Are we clear?
Mr. Cloud, I'd like to say something.
Now, Kevin, you do know the good book says that all liars have their place in the lake of fire.
You can't be serious.
It can be found in Austin 3:16.
That's not in the book.
Kevin, apologize. I'm waiting. Now.
I apologize.
Good. Now, I don't want to have to call you back here inside of the office again.
Ridiculous. Hey, yo, Kev, come here. Let me holler at you for a second. Yeah.
Now, I know damn well you ain't gonna let them talk to you like that in the office.
Well, you heard everything inside the office?
Yeah, it's enough to know that they were bullying you just so that they could feel superior. Now, why would you apologize to a man who freaking disrespected you?
I don't know. It just happened like that.
See, man, come on now. Pat just told you that you were going to hell because you didn't ask for forgiveness. Now, I'm not a Bible believer or anything, but if Patrick or Cloud said some nonsense like that to me, I would have took my vest and threw it at them and walked out the door.
Especially if you're the boss of a freaking store.
If you allow that type of disrespect to continue, just think of what else they're going to do to you.
Do you mind if I call you back?
Employees find out, just think what they'll do to you.
Quick, okay?
I'm telling you got to stand up for yourself.
Hello and good afternoon, gentlemen.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I was just walking and I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. I'd just like to know, is everything okay with you?
Oh, we're fine, thank you. No, I'm fine. He's not. Kev, tell him what's wrong.
Please, talk to me.
Alright, so here's what happened. I came out of the bathroom and the manager comes up to me, who was on duty that night, says that I was going into overtime and I needed to leave the building. Now, I had trash in my area that needed to be taken out. So I asked him, since you want me to leave, since I was going into overtime, do you want me to leave the trash where it's at? Or dump it, because I didn't want to get called into the office saying that I never cleaned my stuff up. So who was the manager on duty when this whole interaction took place? Patrick was the manager last night, and not long ago before you came in, I was just called into the office about yesterday's issue. As I was explaining my side of the story to Mr. Cloud, Patrick interrupts me, calls me a liar, and says I was going to hell for it.
Now, what did Mr. Cloud do when Patrick said all that?
Manager did nothing. I overheard the conversation while I was sitting here working on the bike. You heard it too.
The reason being I asked and I wanted to kind of get involved in this little conversation here is because
I know. I will be there at the front to greet him and... Mr. Steele!
Well, Mr. Patrick,
You're here so soon.
I sent out a message to you guys that we would be here at this store a little early because it was the closest, and we already finished our first tour at a previous store.
Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to read it just yet because we were dealing with the situation very Hall-mart manner. I'll go back here and get Mr. Cloud and we can begin the tour.
Well, Patrick, that won't be necessary because our office team and the managers that are currently on the floor are walking and touring with them throughout the store.
Huh?
But I'd like to talk to you and Mr. Cloud in there right now. Is he in there?
So, I have to go in here now?
Just walk back in there. I'd like to talk to the both of you.
Okay, I'll let him know. That is on the floor. Make sure Mr. Cloud. What? Mr. Steele is here right now.
Mr. Cloud, how are you?
Mr. Steele, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Great, are you ready to begin the tour?
Not quite. I'd like to talk to the both of you. Please, why don't you both have a seat?
Okay, so what did you wanted to talk to us about?
The reason being I'm sitting the both of you guys down because I wanted to ask you about the morale of your employees and how are they feeling?
All the employees and everyone is in high spirits here. Exactly. Everyone here is just one big happy family.
So there's no issues here at all?
No, there's no problems here at all, no. You can never find anything wrong here in this store. Everyone loves each other.
That's interesting because I spoke with 2 of your employees outside not long ago and they told me that you said some very unhealthy things, Mr. Patrick.
Me? You did. Mrs. Steele, such evil words would never stain these lips.
Well, if that were true, we would not be having this conversation and we'd be out on the floor touring with the rest of the group.
Mr. Steele, I can assure you that those evil words would never cross my lips.
Patrick, you condemn one of your employees to eternal damnation because he didn't do what you asked.
I never do that. I am a judgment-free person. Mr. Steele, I do want to say, Patrick is lying. Yeah, he said that 15 minutes ago before you came here, he condemned one of our employees to eternal damnation. That is 3 now, Patrick. Yeah, and as for you, Mr. Cloud, why did you address Patrick when he made those comments to your employee? Yes. Why didn't you? I was shocked and appalled. I deeply apologize for Patrick's unprofessional and rude remarks. I didn't think that he would be that type of person to say anything like that to a gentleman who's just trying to work really hard at his job. And I just want to tell you, Mr. Steele, that this isn't the first time Patrick has been in trouble. And I deeply apologize, and it would not happen again. You're right, and it won't happen again. Because Patrick, I'm letting you go.
Yo, Cloud really threw him under the bus like that? He got thrown under the bus, called out, and he got fired.
Yo, I thought they were tight with each other for the longest.
Man, I tell you, these managers be doing whatever to keep their positions. They are grimy, yo.
No, I'm gonna stop right now before it gets too...